carotid bypass. But it's also advisable not to land in zone 1 because the distance between left common carotid and brachiocephalic not much. We don't get really much. It has a poor fixation, poor sealing, and poor stability. So if you have to go zone 1, maybe it's better to go all the way to zone 0 and get a better fixation with a total debranching. So the real challenge is when you go to zone 0. We know that surgery is the standard for zone 0. But again, it's technically demanding. It requires cardiopulmonary bypass, deep hypothermia, it has cerebral perfusion problem, and prolonged recovery. So one of the solutions for the aortic arch, if you have to go to zone 0, to a hybrid repair by doing a chimney to brachiocephalic and carotid and cardiovascular bypass, or you can do total arch vessel debranching. Like here, one of our cases where we have an arch aneurysm, we did total debranching, and then we did an TVAR at the same time. This is follow up with a good result. Other option to do chimney, but it's not advisable to do 3 chimney because it ends with a type 1 endoleak. So if you have to do a chimney, do 2 chimney and 1 periscope, or of course open repair is always an option. How good is hybrid complex aortic arch? This is a nice paper, meta-analysis by Dr. Antonio. He did meta-analysis of 195 patients. Mortality was 21%, morbidity 21%, mortality about 9%, stroke rate 7%, and endoleak was only 9%. So what he concludes that hybrid repair of complex aortic arch disease alternative treatment option with acceptable short-term result. What about the chimney in the arch? How good is this one? This is from Greek, this paper. They have 124 patients with 136 chimney. Primary technical success was 99, and birth mortality was only 5%. Stroke rate was about 4%, which is very acceptable. All endoleak was about 18%, but type 1 endoleak was only 11%. And when we follow up this patient for 1 year, all the grafts still open. So when they conclude that endovascular aortic arch repair with a chimney is associated with a lower mortality compared with the open or hybrid repair. So what about total endovascular? We have really 5 investigational devices available in the market. I'm going to go through each of them. Start first with a relay branch thoracic stent graft from Toronto. It's a custom-made double branch endograft with a wide window. It has 2 inner branches, one for brachiocephalic and one for left common carotid artery. It's a recurve system, so make it easier to get through the arch. And of course, we need to do left subclavian cardiovascular bypass first. So first, we start with the left cardiovascular bypass, and you deploy your device, and then you do 2 branch, one to brachiocephalic and one common carotid and retrograde manner. How good is this device? This is from TRIUMPH registry in Italy. They have 24 patients. In hospital, mortality was about 16%, cerebral event was 25%, but luckily was only 3 major stroke. Retrograde dissection about 8%, but there was no type 1 or type 2 endoleak. So when they conclude that endovascular aortic arch repair using the double inner stent graft, branch stent graft is feasible and result acceptable in high-risk patients. Then we have a device from Gore, which is called Gore-TAC thoracic branch endobraces. It has a single branch. It can be used for zone 1, 2, or even 0, but the more you go proximal, then you have to do a surgical bypass because it has only a single branch. How good is this one? This is a new paper published last year in November. They have multi-center retrospective randomized cohort study. They have 31 patients, and the side branch vacancy was about 100%. Freedom from type 1 endoleak was about 97%. There was no dysopalatration. Then we have a Zenith arch branch graft from Cook. It's a patient-specific option with 2 or 3 inner branches for left common carotid, brachiocephalic, and left subclavian artery. Always we connect in retrograde, and they prefer to use self-expandable cover stent like Fluency or Viagra. How good is this one? The best experience comes from France, from Dr. Stéphane Holland. He did about 38 patients. Technical success was 84%, 30 days mortality 13%, stroke rate 11%. So to conclude, this confirms the feasibility and safety of the endovascular repair of aortic arch using Zenith branch graft. Then we have a Nexus aortic arch stent graft from Jotex. It has 2 pieces. One piece goes to the ascending aorta, has a single branch, and the second piece goes to the ascending aorta. Of course, we need extranatomical bypass because it only has one single branch. How good is this device? This is a paper come from David Planner. He did 28 patients using a Nexus arch device.
30-day success was about 96%, freedom from procedure-related mortality was 93%, and no stroke, paraplegia, MI, or aortic regurgitation, and concludes that Nexus aortic arch system demonstrated high success with excellent 1-year safety and performance. Then we have Inouye stent graft from BDMC. It comes with 3 branches, 1, 2, or 3 branches already attached to the main graft and has a pre-wire, so you need to snare the wire from the target vessel and then direct the branch to inside the vessels. This device, I think the one who has the most experience with this from Japan, they have this nice paper, they publish it. They have about 89 patients, 30 days mortality was 4%, clinical success about 100%, periodic procedure about, again, 16%. The freedom from aneurysmatic death was about 93% at 5 years. So they conclude that, again, single branch stent graft will work fine, but if you have more branches, it becomes more complicated and you have higher chance of mobility and stroke. Then we have a frustrated custom-made device by Cook. This is a custom-made. It's a very nice paper, single-center retrospective study. Have 44 aortic arch with pair with frustrated stent graft. They have technical success 95%, 30 days mortality 9%, and major stroke only 7%. Then we have inside fenestration, which we can done by us, especially if you do left subclavian artery. You can do inside fenestration by laser or radio frequency. You can go antegrade or retrograde, and you connect it, of course, with a cover stent. How good is this one? This is from the United States paper. They have 22 patients. They did laser fenestration of left subclavian artery. There was no fenestration associated morbidity. In hospital mortality 4%, primary evidence 100%, and no fenestration rated type 1 or type 3 indolent. So conclude that inside retrograde laser fenestration is feasible for left subclavian artery with high technical success and low mortality and morbidity and good excellent midterm betas. The only thing with all these devices is cerebral stroke. And this is a nice paper. They look at the silent stroke during TIVA. And we found that we embolize the brain about 81% of the cases, very high. So we always trash the brain with a lot of things during the TIVA. But luckily, the clinical stroke is only 13%, but silent infarction could be about 68%. Why is it important? They notice that silent infarction can increase risk of future stroke, dementia, depression, cognitive impairment, and early death. So how we can protect from that? You need to patient selection, try to avoid shaggy aorta, try to give statin and avoid smoking, minimize your catheters and wire manipulation, try to keep ECT height more than 20 to 50, and do CO2 flushing. This is the most common technique now we use it, and some people use a protection device, and we have many in the market. The one we use the most is a Sentinel device. So,
yeah, we both.
This is the end. So endocardial can be used if you have any type of endoleak. So in conclusion, rapid improvement in endograft technology over the last 10 years has expanded the indication for endorenal grafting, straight and branch graft, hybrid, chimney, all available, and the choice depends on your experience, availability, and urgency, and long-term results still unknown. It's all still experimental devices, but always remember if patient is fit and suitable. We still think for aortic arch pathology, open repair is a gold standard. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr.